Hi, hello, how are you? I'm Christy, and that's Steve. Welcome back to my channel. He is watching Young and the Restless, but there is something very controversial going on the show today, and apparently Steve does not approve. Not sure if I do either, but anyway, there's a pesky fly in here, as well as some of the dogs, so here we go. Today, I don't expect this to be a super long video, but it might be. I mean, not like hours and hours, but my commenter AF has been back. Now, these have accumulated over multiple videos. I just haven't addressed them, but there's so many that I thought I would go ahead and bring it out. She is still proclaiming Sammy's sainthood. She still acts like she knows more about what's going on than the rest of us, and she still will not answer a simple question of who drove Sammy home. So she knows a lot about Sammy. She knows a lot about apparently stuff that Kiely had, stuff that Kiely did, but she will not say who drove Sammy home that night, which I find odd because I feel like if, somebody would come forward and verify I took Sammy home from the party at this time, and yeah, she did get a call from Kiely at 12:36. I mean, maybe a lot of us would back off Sammy a little bit more if we could, really nail down the details of her timeline. But AF isn't interested in helping us do that. So she is, however, interested in, I don't know, I guess, apparently I'm jealous of Sammy. And, I'm a hayseed because I said that my son said that people in California are different, which that's not an insult because everywhere that I've lived, I've always said Oklahoma people are different because we are. We're different than people from a lot of different places. My son that lives in Massachusetts, the people there are different. Everybody's different. It's just how it is. It's not an insult. It's just an observation. It's not a bad thing. I've been to California several times. My aunt lived in California most of her life. I have friends in California. Like I said, it wasn't an insult. It was just an observation. But apparently, compared to these progressive Californians, I think is what she calls them, I'm a hayseed. So, okay, I'll take it. I mean, the channel is called This Country Girl's Life, so whatever. All right, let's get rid of Sammy and her halo. Definitely the halo. Goodbye, Sammy. Come on. Go bye-bye. Go bye-bye. Sammy wanted to stick around today. All right. Are you guys ready to dive in? All right. Here we go. So in this one, AF decides to say this. Sammy provided law enforcement with oodles and oodles of tips. There was no filtering or cherry picking. There is no crime scene. This was an unfortunate motor vehicle accident caused by an underage, inexperienced, distraught, and tired girl driving at night. Now, what she's referring to here is when I refer to Sammy saying, come to me with all of your tips. Come to St. Sammy. Tell me all you know, and I will decide if I tell the police. And when the car was flipped and everything fell out of the car, I said they should have treated it like a crime scene and preserved the evidence. Well, apparently, if it's just an accident, it's not a crime scene, and so it didn't matter that her stuff got scattered all over the floor of the reservoir. And then, she tells us about Kiely being inexperienced, underage, distraught, tired, blah, blah, blah. And always, always, always has to point out that she was illegally driving. But when I bring up the fact that Sammy was illegally drinking, she just glosses right over that. She was illegally driving and she bought the White Claw. I didn't see a White Claw can in her car. I saw Truly, but whatever. And this, I love this expression. Maybe she said it because I'm from Oklahoma and she thought it sounded country. I don't know, but you're darn tootin' that Sammy has retained an attorney. After all she did for Kiely, people motivated by jealousy and greed are making mountains out of molehills to pin something on her. She should cancel her college plans for this gratitude? No, I never said Sammy needed to cancel her college plans. I said Sammy was going to cancel her college plans had Kiely not been found because she was so dedicated to her good friend. No. You know what? Sammy can go off to UC Irvine and do her thing until it's time to come back and be questioned by law enforcement. So, and also, I don't know if you remember, if you go back to previous videos, she is absolutely certain that Kiely had a fake ID in her purse, that nobody knew anything about this purse, right? But she knows about the purse, and apparently there was a fake ID in there that I guess she used to buy the White Claw. But she looked so young, I can't imagine anybody selling her White Claw, but nothing is out of the realm of possibility. So maybe she did buy some White Claw. I don't know. Don't really care at this point. Nobody gave her alcohol. She's talking about Kiely. She brought the booze cans and was giving them out. Her car was strewn with a potpourri of cans. Even the fish must have been drunk. This accident had absolutely nothing to do with Sammy. The seniors have started college and need to move on. Okay, Sammy has not started college yet. She's still busy out at the lake at night with a headlamp on, partying, dancing, and drinking Coors. I don't know if the fish were drunk. I bet the cans might have been empty. And a potpourri of cans, I saw one can. One. But AF, I'm sure I mean, hell, maybe you dove down there and saw for yourself before the car was even located. Maybe you saw. I don't know. But maybe the fish took them out. I don't know. But I only saw one can. Y'all let me know how many you saw, but I didn't see a potpourri of cans. It's a simple equation. Inexperienced driver, no full license. She had to bring it up again. Plus dark night, plus tired driver, plus booze cans. Okay, when you've got that many plus, it's no longer a simple equation. Simple is like 2 + 2. But anyway. So, and booze cans obviously equals drunk. Now, before I finish this comment, I'm going to tell you a story. So, one time when I was in college, I had a car accident. I got hit from behind in the rain and spun around. I got knocked out. I was taken to a trauma center because they thought they were going to lose me. Okay? I had not been drinking. However, behind my driver's seat in my car, there was a case of empty beer bottles that one of my friends had asked me to take to a recycling place. And they did a blood alcohol test on me at the hospital, and they were able to tell my parents that no, she had nothing in her system. So I had a wreck, and I had not booze cans, but I had empty booze bottles in my car, and I was not drunk. And the wreck wasn't my fault. But anyway, sorry I went off on that tangent. Just thought I'd point that out. Lindsay realizes that destroying the lives of other children won't bring Kiely back. Peeling a bulbous onion leaves a stench on everyone. She starts to use a lot of food references. I don't know if she's hungry, but maybe she needs a snack. I don't know. But destroying the lives of other children won't bring Kiely back. Fair. True. Nothing will bring Kiely back. But that also doesn't mean that they should get away scot-free if they had a hand in what happened. You can't just be like, well, she's gone and we can't bring her back. So, I mean, if you were involved, just go on and carry on with your lives, because if we punish you, it's not going to bring Kiely back, so we're not even going to do it at all. No, that's not how society works. That's not how the law works, lady. Sammy was 18 and not driving. She also was responsible to not get into a car with a drunk driver. Yeah, and she was so responsible that she left her friend there who was too drunk to drive and didn't offer, like, hey, you want to ride home with us? Super responsible girl right there. Super responsible. I mean, she was responsible to not get into a car with a drunk driver. Okay, good for you, Sammy. But you weren't responsible enough to look out for this 16-year-old girl that you're supposedly such good friends with to make sure that she got home safely? Doesn't sound like much of a friend to me. So I had said, like I said, she's constantly harping on the illegal driving because she was so young and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yeah, but, Sammy's out there drinking and doing drugs and whatever, and she's underage, and that's illegal. It's not legal to drink when you're 18. So she comes back with, who told you that Sammy was using drugs? She certainly was not, okay? How do you know what she was doing? Were you there? How do you know if she was using drugs or not? And she was 18, not 16. Okay. So she's older. She should have been looking out for her younger friend, right? And she was not driving, nor was she drunk. Okay, do you remember the interview where Sammy was talking about Kiely was inebriated, I was inebriated, I drank everything that Kiely drank, and blah, blah, blah? She said she was inebriated. Nor was she a passenger with a drunk driver. Okay, who drove her home? Who was her non-drunk driver? You're comparing apples with watermelons. See, again, I don't know if she needs a snack or what, but she keeps bringing up food. And I'm not. They're both teenage girls, graduates from high school, at a frickin' party with hundreds of people. How is that apples and freaking watermelons? And how dare you criticize Sammy's post-party behavior? She did everything humanly possible to find Kiely. Did she? Did she now? Because I saw her walking around holding a clipboard trying to look important, and apparently she was holding these meetings and trying to get tips from people, and she was talking to a lot of media, but I haven't seen any pictures of her out there like scouring the area looking for Kiely. Of course, she initially assumed that this was an abduction. Why? Why does anybody just automatically jump to that assumption? They're like, she's missing and her car's missing. Oh, she must have been abducted. No, she's missing, her car's missing. You said she was drunk. Accident, right? And now you're trying to convince me that it's an accident, but telling me that she assumed it was an abduction is logical, but you're trying to convince me that an accident is logical. Okay. She wanted law enforcement to expend the maximum search and rescue resources pronto, rather than wait days hoping Kiely was a runaway. Okay, so because an 18-year-old girl who admitted to being drunk at the party with Kiely said, oh, it must be an abduction, you're telling me that that's why law enforcement decided to expend all of these resources pronto? Because of Sammy. 18-year-old Saint Sammy is the one that influenced law enforcement in this investigation? Really? Okay. If so, that explains a freaking lot about what a mess it is. How dare you blame her for hoping Kiely could be found alive? Lady, go back and watch my videos. I hoped she was alive. Every time there was any indication that she could be alive, I was hoping, I was praying every freaking day that they would find her, and that if she was injured or something bad had happened to her, they could get her home, they could take care of the injury, or they could get her the help that she needed to get past it and move on with her life. We all wanted Kiely to be alive. Jagger hoped the same. We all did, lady. We all did. Unbelievable that you even criticized her celebration of life. What did I do wrong now? Speech. Okay. I just said it was strange that they were so close, and she was trying to make it sound like they were so close, but her most genuine memory was boba tea. Your jealous vendetta against Sammy is outrageous. Your idea that I have a jealous vendetta is outrageous. I am married with 3 children. I have a husband who loves me. I have a great relationship with all 3 of my children who, by the way, happy birthday, Eric. I made my final payment on the property of my dreams this month. I have a house full of crazy dogs and a house chicken, and I got chickens and guineas outside. I've got a lake I can walk to anytime I want to and go fish. I love my truck. I love my life. I have an amazing brother. I have great friends. Why would I be jealous of an 18-year-old girl who more often than not looks like she's been rode hard and put up wet out there partying on a beach drinking Coors? No, lady, no. Not a jealous vendetta. I am just pointing out the obvious that everybody sees about this girl and how her stories don't add up and her behavior is sketchy. You must have been miserable in high school. All right, Steph, I'm calling on you now. Would you describe me in high school as miserable? I mean, in our high school, there were lots of different groups or cliques or whatever you want to call them. And I didn't necessarily belong to any particular one or the other, but I had friends in all of them. And I had older friends, and I had some friends that were younger. My best friend was a year younger than me. I mean, I don't think I have any complaints about high school. It was pretty fun. Went to a lot of parties. Um, I'll admit it, I was spoiled. I had 2 sports cars by the time I graduated. I got one for my 16th birthday, a brand new Dodge Charger, and then I got another brand new sports car in 2 years before I graduated. So, yeah, I was hella miserable. You're on the right track about your hayseed ability to understand progressive Californians. Okay, I'll take it. I could go on for hours, but it would be like trying to sell roses at a fish market. I mean, if you wanted to sell roses at a fish market, I bet somebody might buy them. Like if they were going to make a nice romantic fish dinner for their partner, they might buy some roses to put on the table. I don't know. But again, we're talking about a fish market. So somebody get this lady a fish sandwich, I guess with some onions on it, and maybe some apple watermelon fruit salad for dessert. And go ahead and bring her some roses when you serve it to her. I don't know what to give her to drink because I don't think she's mentioned a beverage yet. Oh, maybe White Claw. So now she's coming at somebody that, one of my subscribers that, like, they get as fed up with her as I do. Let's be honest. So she's telling my sub that there is a difference between buzzed and drunk. Sammy drank less than Kiely. No, she drank everything Kiely drank. She said so in the interview. She was also older and more experienced than Kiely, so she could handle a few drinks. So what that says to me is that she was more experienced drinking. So she's been drinking longer than Kiely, and she's built up a tolerance. So that's why she could handle a few drinks, because she's got a tolerance. So I guess she's probably been drinking as long as Kiely. So that gives Sammy, 2 years of drinking? But that's okay. But heaven forbid if Kiely do it. No, but if Saint Sammy, she's been drinking, A-okay. And Sammy was not driving. Yes, we know, you point that out all the time, but she will not tell us who drove her. And I thought everyone said that the children would not be prosecuted for alcohol offenses. Remember when you all said the partygoers should speak out? Yeah, and nobody has said that they're going to be prosecuted for alcohol offenses. That hasn't changed in any press release that I've heard. Nobody has said that they've changed their stance on alcohol and drug offenses. Has that policy changed? I just addressed that. No. Perhaps they should keep their mouths shut. I know, you just keep telling them kids to keep their mouths shut. Why would you want them to keep their mouths shut? What the hell are you trying to hide? What are you trying to cover up? Whatever it is, I bet Saint Sammy is involved. And now she's gonna school us with some statistics here. Once again, going after a subscriber. There were 35,766 fatal motor vehicle crashes in the United States in 2020, in which 38,824 deaths occurred. Thank you. This was a common motor vehicle accident that snowballed out of control because of the insane media coverage. Who brought on most of that insane media coverage? Saint freaking Sammy. If you want to look up anything about the Kiely Rodni case, it's probably like a friend of Kiely Rodni interview, and it's going to be Sammy. Kiely's celebration of life is now over, and we need to move on. These children still have brilliant futures ahead of them, and most are now in college with serious academic workloads. You know what? Kiely should be in college with a serious academic workload too, just so you know. All of this drama, nonsense, and accusations is stressing them out. Okay, so when they get stressed out, apparently Sammy likes to go drink And that's not going to fare well for her in college. I'm just saying, a lot of people that are drunks in college don't even graduate. How many more young lives do you want to ruin? Well, I guess as many as it takes to get justice for Kiely. Even Lindsay realizes that this was a life learning event and has embraced the survivors. And FYI, inebriated is a broad generic term. A person can be slightly inebriated or trash. Okay, well, when Sammy used it, she said, Kiely was inebriated, I was inebriated. So she kind of made it sound like they were both equally inebriated. That's the way it came across. If that's not what she meant, she should go back and clarify that. A life learning event. Yes, it was. It was a life learning event, but people need to also learn that there are consequences for your actions. And what the hell has Sammy learned? Apparently not that drinking is dangerous. She's still out there partying and doing that. I guess she probably got somebody driving her home that you're going to keep like a national secret. All right. And as far as Lindsay realizing this was a life learning event, like, I'm not even going to touch that because I don't understand why she has embraced the survivors when they're the ones that left her child out there. But to each their own. I mean, everybody grieves differently. And maybe she's finding solace in them. I don't know. You do you. If it's not for me, I'm not going to judge you. It's just not going to be my thing. I agree with Lindsay. There is honor in silence. The truth does not necessarily bring comfort or tranquility. The secret to happiness is believing your own truth. That's why religion was created. Really? All right. I took history of religion and I don't remember that, but okay. This honor and silence thing just annoys the piss out of me because I just don't see it. And if you watch my video from the other day, I had missing and murdered people featured in it that their families don't see the honor in it either. And you're right. Sometimes the truth hurts. The truth does not necessarily bring comfort and tranquility. No. But the truth gives you answers. The truth, like I said, sometimes it hurts. And sometimes you don't want to face it, but you have to. Kiely deserves that. Kiely deserves for people to know what happened, whether it be an accident or something else. That truth needs to come out. And the secret to happiness is believing your own truth. Okay, I mean, I get that, but what if your truth is just some sort of fantasy world that you've created for yourself? You might be happy, but not quite sane. Then I said, about I think silence is betrayal and, everybody deserves answers. And she said, that's not up to you. It's up to the families. Well, I see her dad and her grandpa out there every single day at Prosser, staring at the water. And they're looking for answers. They wanted that stuff recovered from the bottom. They want answers. So just because Lindsay doesn't want the answers, Lindsay is not Kiely's entire family. And you need to remember that. If her dad wants answers, then he deserves answers. If her grandpa wants answers, then he deserves answers. She goes on to say there are many answers. Each case is different, and some people don't want all the answers. And, I feel like Lindsay does not want the answers. And if she doesn't want the answers, then she doesn't have to accept them. Hang on. Thought the dogs were going to start barking. But the people that want the answers, like her dad and her grandpa and anybody else, it's their right to get them. They deserve them. Silence is golden with Kiely. Best to accept that it was a routine motor vehicle accident. With lessons learned about responsible parenting. See, one minute she's like, oh, I support Lindsay, blah, blah, blah. And then she wants to turn around and say, like, Lindsay was a shit mom because she let her go to this party. With lessons learned about responsible parenting, drinking and driving, underage driving, etc. Okay, why is it best to accept that this was a routine motor vehicle accident? Why is it best to accept that rather than... Why is it better to just accept that blindly than to do an in-depth investigation and ask the questions and find out? Maybe it was an accident, but they need to rule out foul play. So you can't just accept things. It's human nature to question everything. You should question everything. Don't just go on blind faith on everything. The alternative is an endless enigma of finger-pointing, petty criminal charges. Petty criminal charges. A girl died. There's nothing petty about that. Nothing. That is far from petty. Petty is like stealing a candy bar. Lawsuits. You know what? Maybe. But maybe these kids or whoever need to realize they're accountable for what they do. There's consequences for actions. They will be held responsible for them, whether that be criminal charges or lawsuits. And if they have to deal with that, maybe in the future they will learn. Because at this point, they have not learned. And if this is swept under the rug, they will not learn from this. All they're going to learn is, ooh, we got away with something. Who supplied the booze? Who supplied the dope? You probably know. Who should not have been driving? Who should have stayed with whom? Who should have not been allowed to attend the party in the first place? Yeah. Those are all valid questions that I hope are being asked. I know you don't care about the answers, and I know you don't want those questions asked, but most people want those questions asked and answered. And here we are back to the onions again. Do you really want to peel this bulbous onion? Put extra onion on her fish sandwich, please. Most of the responsibility will trace back to Kiely's parents because she was a minor. It's time for Kiely to rest in peace and for all others involved to move on with their lives, hopefully wiser. They're not going to be wiser unless they're held accountable. They're not. They're not going to learn a damn thing from this, and that's obvious by Sammy's behavior. Who drove Sammy home? Because I said. Why is it such a secret? Why won't you just answer and tell me who drove Sammy home? And she said, who drove Sammy home? A sober driver with a full valid driver's license. Who is the sober driver with a full valid driver's license? This would really make Sammy look a lot better if you would just tell me. Or tell somebody. Or have Sammy tell somebody. Or have the driver come out and tell us. That would be great. And then, after I said, like, why is this such a big secret? She said, perhaps the real secret is what is in Kiely's nab bag. The fuck? So here we are, back to this, you know, she had a purse, she had a bag that nobody freaking heard about. But what was in it? Apparently you know, so why don't you fill the rest of us in? What was in it? How do we know it was Kiely's? Sammy and all these other people were charging their phones in her car. Maybe it was their bag. And then we end with, I told you about her purse in the car. Let's wait and see what it contains. If they show it. This mystery purse. How do you know about this mystery purse and this bag and the fake ID and that she bought booze? How do you know all of this? It sounds like you were literally right there with freaking Kiely. Seeing everything she did, everything she had, what she was carrying with her. And then let's wait and see what it contains. Oh, wait, I thought you wanted silence. I thought you didn't want this shit coming out. But now let's wait and see what it contains. So if it makes Kiely look bad, then by all means, let's put it out there. But if it makes anybody else look bad, especially Sammy, no, doesn't need to come out. Silence. Do I have this right? Is that what you want? If it makes Kiely look bad, if it makes her parents look like shitty parents, then yes, absolutely talk about it and bring it out. But if it makes any of those teenagers, especially Sammy, look bad or look like shitty friends, then we're supposed to be quiet. Right? Okay. Jesus. Okay. That's really it. For now. I'm going to try to come back on and do another video later this afternoon. It just depends on how I'm feeling. Husband's not feeling great today. Called from work, so I got to try to figure out something to make for dinner that might make him feel a little bit better. But yeah, I will try to come back and do another one later. Just wanted to get this rant out of the way because the video that I'm planning to do later is a little heavier topic. So I just wanted to get this out of my system. So sorry for the rant, although you guys really seem to enjoy my rant videos. So here you go. Another one. She's off again. Thank y'all for stopping by and listening to my rant about my crazy AF commenter. Give the video thumbs up, share, subscribe, click the bell to all, do all the things, please. And as always, I will see you all in the next one.